Hi, welcome to episode 5 of the Mel-Tran Designs Knitting Corner. Today's January 7th, 2013, and I'm your host, Melissa, also known as Ananzi on Ravelry, and on Plurk and Twitter, I am Mel-Tran Designs. There's also a Mel-Tran Designs group on Ravelry. Please come check us out if you haven't already. I would like to welcome any new viewers, especially those of you who found out about me from Lisa from the 90% Knitting podcast. She and I are doing a knit along together, and if you found me that way, welcome. If you found me another way, welcome. And if you are coming back, thank you so much for joining me again. As you can see, I changed where I'm recording. I decided to give my living room a try. It's also really quiet in the house because it is 12:40 in the morning, so technically it's Monday, and I like that because then I can post it and you guys will all have it during the day. It's a lot easier too because my kids are still out of school. My older girls go to a charter school and they get 3 weeks off for Christmas, so they still have another week off. So I'm going to record from in here today and see how it goes in the future because we have a really huge window over here, and I don't know if during the day it would cast a really weird light and make it shadowy, weird, I don't know. Anyways, so for now, this is where I'm sitting, and I hope it works okay. Let's jump into happenings this week. Not a lot. I didn't have a lot to write down because I just recorded on Wednesday night, so it's only been a few days. But I did want to say that on Saturday, I had my alarm going off bright and early at 6:30 a.m., and that was because Heather from Highland Handmaids, which is also the Fiberista Files podcast, she was having an update, and I wanted to catch it because I haven't been able to catch any of her updates before because of my no yarn buying year, and it was going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern. So I got up at about 6:40 and came in here and was checking it out and got ready, and everybody was plurking like crazy, you know, posting on there with our excitement. And when it was go time, I was able to get the skein of yarn that I wanted and some fiber, and I'm really looking forward to getting that. So anyways, that was really all that happened this week that, you know, I don't know, that was worth talking about, I guess, since Wednesday night or Thursday when this went up. This is my cat. He's aptly named Marshmallow, which I think was a little bit of prophecy by my kids when they named him. He was not this fat as a baby, and he actually just went on a diet starting yesterday. So hopefully he won't be living up to his name sooner than later. So he'll probably just sit in the corner here. He's my affectionate kitty. So we call him Marsh. It's easier to say. We have another cat too. I don't know if you'll ever see her. She was named Princess Fiona, if you can guess what movie we were on a kick when we got her. We just call her Princey, usually. And my miniature dachshund, Lucy, is snuggled up under a blanket that's sitting right here next to me. So I guess that's one of the joys of sitting on the couch instead of on one of the chairs in the kitchen. We have animals all over. So anyway, let's move on. I do have a knit-along update. It's been a lot of fun to see the beginnings of the excitement for it. Not a lot of people have posted about it yet, but Lisa just posted her newest episode, and she has a lot more viewers than I do, but she has a post in both the 90% Knitting group and the Fiber Nymph Dye Works group. And I also have a post. We both have chatter and finished object threads. She has decided that in her finished objects thread, it's a no chatter thread, and she's going to be giving away, if I remember correctly, she's going to be giving away a skein of yarn, and I am going to be giving away 2 patterns of mine of your choice if you're the one that gets drawn on mine. So you can post in both of our finished object threads, and please take part in the chatter on both of the threads. I'm really excited about this, and I've had a few people purchase the pattern so far, and Lisa has messaged me and said that she has the first skein, kind of the trial run, finished, and we're waiting for it to dry. And I texted her and I said, I'm so excited, please take a picture as soon as you can and just text it to me. So she said, I'm just waiting for it to dry. And so I was, you know, blowing on it from here in Idaho all the way over to Pennsylvania. Hopefully it got over there and it's drying quickly. So anyway, I'll let you know how that goes. Maybe I'll post about it or whatever when I hear back from her. So anyway, that's going to be a lot of fun. An update as far as the pre-orders go. In my last one, I said that they were going to be going up today, Monday. She changed that because she wasn't able to have, or she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to have the color perfected, because we don't even know if we'll like the one that is drying right now. So she is going to put the pre-orders up on the 11th when her shop update is. Last she told me when the pre-orders were going to go up that they were going to go up at noon. I don't know what time her shop update is going to be. Watch her next episode. I think she's going to record this week. I will find out from her and post in my group, and I'll have her post in hers as well if it's different than noon. So there's your update on that. Next thing, I'm getting ready for my first class of the year. I am teaching how to make thrummed mittens. I have some. Trying to see if you don't mind 1 second. Haha. I have some that I made in November, and I just followed the Yarn Harlot pattern, which was free on her blog from a few years ago. Here's the inside. Kind of looks like you killed a Muppet. But anyways, the ladies in my class saw me working on them and loved them. So that's what we're going to do. I have the fiber already here, and I'm putting the order in for the yarn tomorrow. So that'll be here. My class is running on the 18th and 25th of this month. It's a 2-week class. If you live around here and you're interested in that, contact me on Ravelry, and I can get you all the information that you need. The next class that I'll be doing, I don't have the dates set, but that is going to be the Stitch Surfer socks that were in the, I think, the Knitty right before this one. I think they were in the fall Knitty. They're the ones that have the self-striping yarn and the solid yarn next to each other, and they kind of went like that. Anyways, my students really liked that, and they requested that we do that as well. I don't have 2 yarns for that right now, so I'm going to make mine out of these 2 yarns. This is it's falling apart. This is some Huckleberry Knits, her Willow base, which is BFL nylon, that I got in a club that I was in last year. And then this is some Castle Rock fibers. I ended up having a short skein, and I wrote her about it, and so she made up the difference, but accidentally sent me the wrong color. But I liked it well enough just to keep it, and I'm using the other skein for something else, and I thought they went together nicely. So this is what I'm going to be doing mine in, kind of as the, not really the sample because they know what it looks like, but I need to have knit the project that we work on before they do. So, and I did do the toe with some worsted weight yarn just to kind of play with it a little bit and get the hang of it. So now I'm going to do it with these. So you'll see these on the needles pretty soon. And I do intend to buy yarn when the students order their yarn. The Loopy U has sets that were actually made just for those socks. So I think we might be ordering those. So theoretically, that's what I'll be doing. That's my intention, but if I already knit a pair of socks with what I have, I don't know that I'll want to make them again, so we'll see. Stay tuned. Anyways, if you're interested in that class, long story short, I guess, if you are interested in that class, like I said, and you live around here, it'll probably be a 3-week class starting in February. So anyways, PM me on Ravelry, and I'll keep you in the loop as far as that goes. There's also a thread in my group that talks about my upcoming classes and has all that listed as well. So if you want to head over there, I will keep that updated. Works in progress. moving right along. First thing I have listed, I talked about these in my very first episode, and I haven't talked about them since. It's just my purse socks, ankle socks, out of some Knitters Brewing Company Sockaholic yarn. It used to be her buttery nipple colorway, which is yellow. I already made socks out of that and had some left over and decided to over dye it and play with it a little bit. So this is what I have. I have already done the heel, and I weighed my leftovers when I started going in the round again, and I had 7 grams. And after 6 rows, I had 6 grams. So I'm trying to use up as much of it as I can. This is what my ball looks like, which if I wasn't weighing it, I would start to panic, but I'm not. I've done 10 rows, and it took 2 grams, so I have 5 grams left. So I'm probably going to do just 1 or 2 more rows, and then I'll do my 8 rows of ribbing and bind off. I'm not worried about it because for my ribbing, I'm going to drop down. These are size 1s, 2.25 millimeter. I'm going to drop down to my size 0s for the ribbing, so I'm not worried about it. Anyway, here's how much I have left. It's actually surprisingly thick. So I ended up, this is what you get for putting it down and picking it back up. Do you see how the heel looks a little bit flat right here? Well, apparently I had finished my decreases. This is a short row heel. I had finished my decreases and had started picking them back up. And when I picked it up, I didn't realize that I had already finished decreasing, so I decreased again and then increased back up. But when I put the sock on, it fits quite nicely because it cups my heel more than comes to a point like they usually do. I might try this again on purpose. The only thing is that you end up, this isn't going to show up very well, one, because of my crappy autofocus, but also because it happened on the dark part of the yarn. But right here, you can see, you know, the bumps from where you're starting to go back up. But then there's another set of bumps here. I can't feel it, and it looks a lot more obvious here, mainly because of the difference in color. And I think I might have messed up right there a little bit. But anyways, here and then here's the other set. If I can figure out, yeah, I might have just messed that up a little bit. Anyways, I might do this, well, I'm going to have to do it again on purpose because I don't want to pull this out. So I'm going to do it again on purpose on the other sock and see if I can make it a little more tidy. And then I might have to just write up a pattern with this on, you know, done, because I do really like how it curves around like that. So anyway, I might have just discovered or rediscovered, I don't know, I've never seen it before, but a new heel? I don't know. Anyways, this one will be done, I'm sure, next week because I'm ready to be done and move on, get another one on the needles. And then I split my yarn in half, so I will have another one going. Next, oh, okay, the chevron socks. Last week I showed this to you. It's not something that I had shown before. Here's the finished one that I have. The heel there. And remember, I said the texture is bumpy because I was pulling from a sock that I had already knit of this pattern, but it was way too small because I didn't realize how much the chevron would pull it in. So when I soak it, it'll relax, and I'm not worried about it. Anyway, here's the first one. The second one, I had about this much done on the toe. I think I had about this much done on the toe of the second one last week, and I have shown it much love over the last couple of days while I've been watching Downton Abbey seasons 1 and 2. So the foot is done, and I'm actually right in the middle of picking or doing the increases on the heel. It's a short row heel. So that will be done. I was actually able to do this whole sock and all the way up to the end of this pink stripe out of the one sock that I made last year, and now I'm in the unused yarn. You can tell, wow, you can really tell the texture difference. But like I said, when I soak it, it'll all calm down. So anyway, that will be up on the leg. Probably tomorrow I'll work on this a little bit. I want to get the pattern written up. It's really easy and basic. So anyway, here it is in the skein. This is Damselfly Yarns in her something, I wrote it down last week. Sturdy Sheep base. It's the Carnelian colorway. And I'm using size 1s, or no, size 1.5, which is 2.5 millimeter on these. I don't usually use that large of a needle, but because, like I said, because it sucks in so much, I needed to make it, I needed to account for that. So anyways, that one will probably be done by next week, actually, since I have a whole week, and I love making socks. They're my very favorite thing to make, followed very close second by shawls, but socks are my absolute favorite thing to make, so get used to seeing those. Okay, the next thing that I'm working on, I have my cursed cable socks that I'm making with the Fiber Nymph Dye Works self-striping. Those have seen no love. I said that it would probably be done. It hasn't been touched, so I'm not even going to pull it out because it looks exactly the same. The other thing that I haven't worked on since Wednesday is the Dyers shawl. I'll probably have time to work on it this week. I have the pattern memorized, the 6-row repeat, so I'm able to take that with me. I'll probably try and do at least 1 or 2 pattern repeats on it, especially since I don't have my yarn for the knit along yet. I don't know, I'll do this part of my shawl for the knit along, and then I'll start over again once that comes in. Next thing I have on the needles, and I think that, yeah, this is the last thing I have. This is Anansi's skirt, the Anansi skirt. I actually had three more pattern repeats done, and I realized I needed to change it up a little bit. So this looks pretty much like I had it last time, but it's because I had to completely start over. I needed to add some stitches to the waistline, and I decided to change how often I'm doing the increase row, which happens, let's see if there's a lighter spot here. The increase row happens right before the purl ridge. I'm glad I did because it'll fit her better and it'll work up in the pattern a lot better. I made a rookie mistake today. Actually, it's a mistake that I've never once made in my 16 years of knitting. When I picked it up to work on it, well, actually, I had only cast on today. So I'm knitting around. I did my 10 rows of ribbing, and I had it in my lap and was doing something. And then I picked it up again. I was changing needles up to the bigger size because it starts on 4s and then goes up to 6s. And I got around the plain, the plain knit row after I changed needles, and there was this gap at the end, and I was like, what is going on? And the first stitch looked all weird, and I could not figure out what happened. Instead of continuing in the round, I had turned it and gone back. But because it's ribbing, I couldn't tell because ribbing is the same, frontwards, backwards, upside down is the same. I've never done it. It doesn't matter because it looks the same. I just have this nice little hole that I'll, stitch up later on. But honestly, I've never once done it. So it was, yeah, one of those things. So anyways, I'm done with the first repeat, and that'll be smoothly going along. She's really excited about it. She was bummed that I had to pull it out, but I explained that because I'm changing the way I'm increasing, it's actually going to make it get done faster, and that it'll fit her for longer and it'll fit her better. So she was okay with that. You know, she's 9, so she understands. But anyways, this is actually two skeins put together. This is the Barocco DK in the cartwheel colorway. And like I said, I'm using a size 6, 4.0 millimeter. I'm enjoying the yarn. I hated having to pull it out, but it's one of those things when you design. Just a fact of life. So I do not have an aversion to frogging, even if it's a whole sweater. So some people hate it, but I just know it's a necessity, and I usually end up happier after I've frogged it than if I would have stuck with it. So anyways, that's all for my works in progress. I only have 2 finished objects this week, and they're actually 2 of the same thing, but a little bit different. If you watch any other podcasts, you'll know that Sadie from the Yarnivore podcast is doing her Snuggle charity contest, and because I have such a new show, I don't have enough viewers to even attempt at competing. So I decided that to knit a couple of Snuggles, and I am going to be putting mine towards Katie, who is knitting on the fly. The reason I'm going for hers is because essentially she asked first. Hers is the first podcast that I saw that officially said, hey, we're competing, you know, post yours in my group, and since she was the first one I saw, I'm just counting that as she asked me first. So these 2 are both going to go towards her. And here is the first one that I did. It's just plain green. I just did kind of the grandma's dishcloth. I held two strands together and cast on 3 and just increased 1 every single row until I hit about, well, 14 by 14 is the smallest. I think I ended up with a little bit bigger than that, maybe 15 by 15. So I increased until I had that, which ended up being 51 stitches, and then decreased back down to 3 stitches and bound off. So here's one. And the yarn I used on this is the Caron 1 pound, and it's more of an Aran weight, and I knit it on size 13 needles, which is a 9.0 millimeter. And then I made a second one holding 1 strand of the Caron and 1 strand of some universal long print. So here's this one. Has different shades of brown. And then I ran out of the one that has the darker brown, and I had one that had kind of white with the lighter browns. So anyway, the dog or the dog or cat that lays on this, they're not going to care if it's 2 different, you know, the different browns and whatnot. I made both of these just sitting and watching Downton Abbey yesterday. They were really easy, and I hope whatever animal gets to sleep on them is very comfy, because heck, I would sleep on this. I would use it as like a travel pillow because it's so cushy, and I might actually make one of these and then fold it into 4ths and stitch it, because this is really cushy. I know, lame, but if you're in the car, you can't have something big. So anyway, that's all the finished objects I have for you this week. Hopefully next week will be a little bit more impressive. Moving on to spinning. I have spun this week for 2 reasons. One, everybody else is spinning. All the podcasts I watch and everybody on Plurk, they're all talking about spinning, and I was feeling left out. And my wheel, her name is Kate, and I love her. She's right there. She was feeling alone and abandoned because I haven't spun in so terribly long. So I had a progressive single that I had spun up at a spinning retreat I went to in October, which I think is the last time I spun on my wheel. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to leave it as a single or if I wanted to Navajo ply it. I decided that it was too overspun to leave as a single. So I went ahead and Navajo plied it. Color, yep, it's showing pretty true. This is one of my ties. Let me see if I can turn it this way. There we go. Yeah, I think it's showing up pretty well. It goes from this really light aqua blue into this kind of green blue here, and then it ends in this beautiful turquoise. And it was actually not dyed as a progressive. I turned it into one. I pulled the pieces apart because I decided that that's how I wanted it. This is fiber by the Sassy Sheep. You can find them on Etsy. And, oh, really quick, the Sassy Sheep, go look. They're having grab bags right now. You can get their sock yarn, the basic merino nylon blend, 2 skeins for $22. They have a cashmere blend, a bamboo blend. They might just have the 3. They might have a silk. Don't quote me. Anyways, the catch is that you get what you get. So for the $22, you get 2 skeins, 2 full-size skeins of whatever they grab and send you. They're also having that deal with fiber. So you can go on there. Please not before I do. I have a friend who's going to split the shipping with me, so I'm going to put a double order in tomorrow. So please don't buy all of it, but buy some of it. I love Sarah and Katie very muchly, and they have beautiful colors. You'll see the pictures. Anyways, this is some of their merino bamboo. If you want to spin merino bamboo, pick the mystery one, because I was looking at the picture of it, and a lot of that is the merino bamboo. I can't guarantee it, but that's what it looks like. That's what mine looked like in the roving. Okay. This is my most favorite color that they do. It's the Tropics colorway, and that's the color that I did my Dyers shawl with. So, sorry, I think I swallowed a hair. Anyways, it's gorgeous. It's soft. It is very well balanced, as you can see. Let's see, what weight is it? I would say probably a really consistent DK. There's obviously going to be, you know, a little bit bigger areas and a little bit softer, but overall, I would say it is a pretty consistent DK. Let's see if I can separate these out. Here's a section that represents it nicely. So, there you go with that. I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. I'm leaning towards a semicircular shawl because I love how that shape shows off a gradient / progressive colorway. Right, isn't that gorgeous? Oh, so nice. And the drape is amazing. So it has to be a shawl. I don't know what. Or maybe maybe a cowl. That would be nice. I don't know. Anyway, as I toss it off to the side. There's spinning for the week. I am hoping that I will have more spinning for you next week. Sorry, I have fuzzies everywhere. In fact, I'll do some sort of spinning. And if I don't, I'll pick something that has to do with it like I did last week. So, okay, designing. I have not started my sweater yet, but I have a swatch to show you. I pulled out my size 9s, which is what I had swatched the little bit that I had. Hi, Marv. And I really like how it turned out. Sorry, my needles are clanking back and forth, clanking together. These are my Diacraft Darn Pretty interchangeables, not knit picks. These are handmade in the United States. I still will do a review on them. I love them. I have more coming eventually. Anyway, here is me getting wrapped up in the needles. Here's the swatch. I'm getting 13 stitches over 4 inches, which is, bulky. You can see the light through here, but if you go down to a size 8, the fabric is way too tight and dense, and it hurts my hands to work with if I go down to an 8. So I think 9 is going to be perfect, which for you guys it'll probably be a 10 because I usually have to drop down a needle size. You can see, well, okay, you can't yet. Here, you can see how nicely the seed stitch shows up, which is what the the bottom border will look like. Look at that amazing stitch definition. Isn't that beautiful? I am just so in love, it's not even funny. So anyway, you can see, okay, again, not yet. Do you see the twist on that? Isn't that just beautiful? I love this yarn. Again, it's not the softest ever, but it's for a garment or an outer garment, and I'm okay with that. It's not like I'm making a scarf and I need it to be soft around my neck. It's gonna be on my arms where I can tolerate a little bit scratchier, and you know, on top of a shirt. So anyways, oh, I guess I should have been holding it up like this the whole time. Look how much easier that is. Live and learn. Oh, see, don't do that. Anyway, beautiful. So yeah, it's 13 stitches over 4 inches, and I'm going to be bad and count how many rows over 4 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 20 stitches, or 20 rows over 4 inches. So this is going to knit up pretty quick. And I love that because it's going to be a substantial piece because I want it to be more of a coat. But people don't like always making coats because they're so big and take forever. This is not going to do that. And it's so pretty. And Chris from Briar Rose is awesome. And you should go check her stuff out. Oh, okay. I'm going to talk about her for a second. Well, not her necessarily, but her yarn. Oh, first of all, big balls. Sorry, you're going to have to look at my big blue balls for a while. At least until my sweater's done. Anyway, I can't believe I just said that. Okay, so I went onto the Briar Rose website, briarrosefibers.net, and I wanted to compare her prices to others because they seemed a little high, but I knew the yardage was generous. So I started doing some comparing. Her prices are amazing. Bulky weight yarn usually is really expensive. Not really expensive per ounce, but it's more expensive for less yardage because you're having to pay for the weight. You know, I've seen it as much as $13, $15 for 98 to 100 yards. In one of these skeins, hanks, balls, whatever you want to call it, you get 500 yards of a bulky weight yarn for $45. Do you know how much you can do with 500 yards of a bulky weight? Go into Ravelry and put in 500 yards and look. You can make a lot and quite substantial things. There's a chance I will have almost a whole ball left over. So I thought, hey, I'm going to go look. And I put in the yardage requirements of 400 to 500. I'm going to have no problem using up the rest of this. If I use a pre-written pattern, I'll probably use it just to design something with because this stuff is awesome. Isn't it pretty? I like my big balls. Sorry, I'm going to have to stop. So please go check her yarn out. And like I said, she's really nice. She will custom dye things for you. She will do everything she can to help you get what you want and to be happy and be pleased with what you're getting. And not that other indie dyers won't, because I've worked with other ones. Scarlett from Huckleberry Knits is also amazing, and she did a couple of custom colors for me as well. A lot of them will. And Emily from Fiber Addiction, hi Emily, she will do that as well. I mean, a lot of them will. And I'm only naming those because I've worked with them. But I just have been really impressed with Chris and her eagerness and willingness and kindness. And so please go check that out and let me know if you do. Let me know what you think. And let me know what colors you like. She has unique colors. I'm going to say that. She doesn't have the bright, you know, tropics colorway things like the Sassy Sheep does. But they're very rustic colors. And I don't know. Please go check them out. BriarRoseFibers.net. Go over there. Acquisitions. Nothing. I'm still waiting on all the pretties that I have bought. I know that my Twisted Limon yarn has shipped. I got a note from Karen. She was really excited that she was my last purchase in 2011 and my first purchase in 2013. So I know that that is coming from the UK. My signature needle replacement is on its way. I did not have to mail them in. I think I told you that last time. I sent him a picture and the new needle's on its way. I have yarn from Fiber Addiction. If you haven't seen her stuff, go on to Etsy, Fiber Addiction. She's super sweet. She hasn't sent me stuff yet because we've been talking about some fiber I wanted dyed. So with my permission, she hasn't mailed it yet. Let's see, Highland Handmaids. Like I said, I was able to catch her update and I got some Uber. And if you watch her podcast, you'll know it's very hard to get. And I was there and I got it. And I got some fiber. And you'll see those. She said on Plurk today that she's ready to ship those out tomorrow. So I will definitely have them by next Monday. The other one from the UK, I haven't received a shipping notice on. She might be having to dye more of that up. So I'm not sure about that. Oh, I did purchase a bag yesterday too. Lois from Knitting's My Bag posted on Plurk that she was having a sweater bag update, and I jumped on there because her stuff sells out. Bam, bam, bam. And her big bags are not that expensive, especially compared to some. I mean, there are some, especially when you get into the box bags because of the how complicated, you know, the construction is. You're looking at $45, $50 for the larger size bags, and her sweater bag is 17 inches tall, 16 inches wide, and 4 inches deep, and has a couple pockets inside. Anyway, it was $30, and I've seen her stuff. I've seen her stuff on other podcasts, and I really liked it. And I had messaged her back and forth with her a couple of times about her bags. I just wanted more information, things like that. She is specifically making sweater size bags because it seems to be the year of the sweater for everyone, which when I came up with my design, I had no idea that everyone on Ravelry essentially was going to be making sweaters this year. So hopefully that means my sweater will do well. But as a benefit, as a bonus, people are making these huge bags, and I need a bag big enough for my big balls. So, anyway, I'm really excited about that. So you'll see all sorts of new stuff coming. But now, I don't have anything to show you. I'm sorry. And I won't always have stuff. I know. I don't have that much money. I had money set aside to play with. And if you guys will all go buy my pattern, please, to do the knit along, then I'll have more money to buy stuff to show you the pretties. The pretties. Oh, speaking of which, I just thought of the Sassy Sheep pretties because I need to go over there and order. But there is something I wanted to tell you about that you probably won't have time to plan for it now, but you can know about it in the future. And if you live close enough to here that you could drive, or if you can make the last minute plans. Anyway, there is a retreat that my local yarn store owner puts on every year that is not exclusive to the yarn shop. She's just the one that puts it on. And it's Fiber Arts Retreat in Cascade, Idaho. And this year it's March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It's only $198. Yeah. We can check in as early as 4 on Friday. Sorry, I was wanting to say 2, but that's usually the time that I leave. You can check in at 4 on Friday, and we don't leave until between 12 and 2 on Sunday. You kind of just leave whenever. I'm usually one of the last ones to leave because I like to help, you know, get cleaned up and stuff like that. It's so much fun. We go and we sit and knit and spin and eat, because a lot of us take goodies to share. So there's lots of food. She just started having a vendor market last year, and this year it's going to be bigger, the Sassy Sheep Vend. So some of my money is being set aside for that because March 1st isn't very far away from now. There are classes that you can take. The $198 doesn't include classes, but it covers your food and lodging. You get dinner Friday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner Saturday, and breakfast on Sunday. The food is amazing. They cater to any allergies or restrictions. There's one gal who is not only a vegetarian, but she's also gluten-free, and they're able to feed her. They accommodate lactose-free really well. The chef is super nice. It's so much fun. If you can come, if you can make it to Boise, which is the airport you would fly into, which is capital, Boise, you will have a ride. If you can make it into Boise, someone will take you. If you let me know that you're coming, you'll either ride up with me or one of the other cars that's going up, and you won't have to pay for a shuttle or a bus. You'll just chip in for gas, which isn't that much because Cascade is, let's see, McCall is 100 miles, so Cascade is 85, I don't know. It's like an hour and a half drive. It's not that far, and so for like $10, you can hop in the car, like I said, with one of us and make it up there and just sit and make lots of friends. Last year, I made it a point to go around and meet every single person that was there, and I was the only one that could name everybody there. Don't be that impressed. There were only like 50, but still, there were like 50 people there, and I knew all their names. I don't know that I remember them all now, but I think I could remember most of them. Anyway, please come if you can. We had some people come from Washington, and it's lots of fun. Something to plan ahead for that is quite small, getting bigger, but could still be a fun weekend for you. Memorial Day weekend, Sunday and Monday, is the Fiber Train Festival. This will be the second year. It is here in Nampa. If you do decide that you want to come, like I said, it's not large. There were just a handful of vendors last year. Brenda Dane is going to be here. Lucy Neatby came last year, but she won't be here again until 2015. I don't know who else is coming, but I know there are some local teachers, things like that. If you decide that you want to come to that, we could make plans. You know, even if there's one of you or if there's a few of you, we could set something up so that you would have something more to do maybe than just go to the Fiber Festival. Because like I said, it's small. We could set up class or some sort of class, or we could set up just going out. We could all go out to dinner, have fun, whatever, you know, hang out, be pals. Anyway, but I do want to let you know about those. If you are interested in the Fiber Arts Retreat, the store is called Puffy Mondays, spelled kind of weird. I am going to link to that just below this on YouTube. I will also post it in the group and on my website, all the places that there are links to the show. So, yeah, that wasn't in my notes, but I did want to tell you about it because if you can come, I guarantee you will not regret it. So much fun. The campground that we go to is a church campground, but they call it a retreat center. And this year we're actually expanding out into the cabins, but don't let the word cabins fool you. They're fully furnished houses. They're nice. And it's beautiful, and there's snow on the ground when we go up, and it kind of looks like a ski resort. Anyway, just absolutely beautiful. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them or, you know, help you with any details, anything like that. Yeah, let me know if you have anything that you need to know. That being said, I have nothing else to talk about. Okay, well, I'm sure I could come up with lots of things to talk about, but for now I'm done. I'm 44 minutes in, and I'm going to call it a night. It is now 1:25 in the morning, and I still need to compress this and get it up. If anyone can tell me how to get on iTunes without necessarily going through Blip, let me know, because I tried the whole Blip thing, and I haven't tried that hard, but anyways, I would like to get on iTunes. So if anybody has a way to use my YouTube feed to get on iTunes, please, please, please tell me. All right. I think that for real is all. Until next week, have a great time knitting and spinning and doing all of your fibery things. And please join in on the knit along and make sure to look for the update in Lisa's shop. And until then, keep knitting. Bye.